Let's get right into this. Number 10. A man lived with almost no brain, which sounds like a savage insult you'd throw at your cousin during a family game night. Except this guy was actually walking around with a skull mostly filled with fluid, like someone forgot to download the full brain package. Doctors expected the usual wrinkly pink CPU and instead saw a minimalist apartment with nothing but vibes and determination. Yet the man worked, drove, raised kids, remembered appointments, and probably judged people on the internet just like the rest of us. Neuroplasticity basically became the overworked employee, doing every job in the office because the rest of the staff didn't show up. And honestly, we've all survived days running on 2 neurons and caffeine fumes, wondering how our system hasn't crashed. This guy simply made it a lifestyle. The twist? His IQ was normal. So if anyone calls you empty-headed, smile politely. They might be mistaking you for an evolutionary speedrun. Number 9. Cancer disappears without treatment. Cancer disappears without treatment. Sounds like the kind of optimistic lie we tell ourselves while ignoring real problems. But one man's metastatic kidney cancer genuinely vanished after his fever spiked high enough to cook noodles. His immune system woke up like it had finally checked its emails, realized it was behind on every assignment, and went full demolition mode on the tumors. Doctors were left staring at scans like someone swapped them with a magic trick video, and honestly, we've all procrastinated until pressure forced us into legendary productivity. This guy's biology just did it on heroic difficulty. The strangest part is how medicine still can't fully explain what happened. Fever-triggered immune storms aren't supposed to behave this efficiently, yet his body ran a secret update no one knew existed. So next time life feels messy, remember, somewhere out there a man basically rage-healed cancer out of existence. Number 8. Patient survived a fatal dose of poison. A patient survived a fatal dose of poison, which is impressive because most poisons are pretty punctual about their job descriptions. This guy swallowed enough cyanide to qualify for a Darwin Award nomination, yet he strolled into the ER like he'd merely eaten questionable street food. Blood tests showed levels that should have sent him straight to the credits roll, but the poison had degraded in storage like expired milk, pretending it can still ruin your cereal. Chemistry essentially bailed him out like the unreliable group project partner who shows up only at the deadline, but somehow saves the presentation. And honestly, we've all overestimated something. Our spice tolerance, our social battery, our emotional stability during festival season. He just happened to overestimate poison. The real twist is how the toxin failed so miserably that doctors had to double-check if the equipment was broken. Even death couldn't take him seriously that day. Number 7. A bullet in the head improved behavior. A bullet in the head improved behavior, which sounds like a slogan rejected by every self-help guru ever. Yet Phineas Gage turned it into an unintentional experiment. A metal rod blasted through his skull like a cosmic prank, and instead of dying instantly, as biology politely recommends, he survived and reportedly behaved differently. Some accounts say calmer, some say chaotic, but brain scans and modern parallels show injuries can flip neural switches like hidden settings in a badly designed app. And honestly, who hasn't fantasized about a personality reset after remembering something embarrassing from 3 years ago? Gage just installed his patch update manually. The twist is that modern patients sometimes show improved empathy or reduced aggression after certain injuries, proving the brain is basically a glitchy operating system that occasionally fixes bugs by accident. Still, please don't try DIY neuroscience. There are safer ways to grow as a person. Number 6. A person seeing colors never documented. A person seeing colors never documented. Tetrachromacy, the universe's secret premium subscription. One woman perceived shades so subtle, the rest of us might as well be watching life on budget TV mode. Scientists tested her vision and found a 4th type of cone cell, a biological Ultra HD filter reality accidentally handed to a single human. Meanwhile, the rest of us argue about whether a dress is blue or gold, proving most eyes are running outdated software. Her everyday world looked like someone turned saturation to divine levels, while everyone else wandered around in default settings. The funniest twist? She assumed everyone saw those colors. Imagine walking through life thinking, wow, these tones are stunning, while everyone around you stares at the same wall like it's a tax form. Basically, she lived in IMAX while the rest of humanity watched the trailer on a cracked phone screen. Number 5. Body temperature incompatible with life. A body temperature incompatible with life. Yet a man arrived with a core temp of 56 degrees Fahrenheit, basically set to fridge mode, looking like biology had rage quit. He should have been a tragic headline, but instead, he thawed back to life like someone rebooting after an overextended nap. Extreme cold slowed everything down so dramatically that his organs became their own preservation system, a natural pause button humans weren't supposed to have. And honestly, who hasn't wished they could freeze time during a crisis, or at least during awkward small talk? His biology actually did it. The twist isn't just survival, it's that he bounced back without brain damage, organ failure, or long-term complications. Turns out humans are more durable than microwaved leftovers and less fragile than WebMD makes us believe. He literally froze to death and respawned like he unlocked a hidden cryo-resistance perk. Number 4. A woman who never sleeps but stays healthy. A woman who never sleeps but stays healthy. Not insomnia, just a biological cheat code. For decades, she reported zero fatigue, perfect cognition, stable mood, and the productivity of someone who fought circadian rhythms and won. Doctors monitored her, expecting hallucinations, burnout, or emotional collapse, yet she kept functioning like a laptop that refuses to power down no matter how many times you hit sleep. Imagine gaining 8 extra hours every day while the rest of us drag ourselves out of bed, feeling like expired batteries. Her genetics may tweak sleep pathways so efficiently that she simply doesn't require the classic reboot cycle. Meanwhile, the rest of us collapse if a mosquito buzzes near our ear for 5 seconds. The twist? Her health markers stayed textbook perfect. She wasn't surviving without sleep. She was thriving, and she still probably accomplished more before sunrise than we do all week. Number 3. A broken spine healing impossibly fast. A broken spine healing impossibly fast. One man's vertebrae shattered so severely that surgeons prepared their most dramatic sympathy voices. But weeks later, scans showed the bones fusing together like a time-lapse construction montage. Growth factors skyrocketed, stem cells rallied, and his body behaved like it was working under a non-negotiable deadline. And honestly, if our motivation worked like his bone cells, we'd all have six-packs, finished goals, and spotless rooms. The truly wild twist is that even specialists couldn't explain the speed. There was no special treatment, no sci-fi serum, just biology deciding crunch mode on. His spine rebuilt at a pace human tissue isn't supposed to achieve, like it skipped the standard tutorial and went straight to expert mode. Meanwhile, the rest of us take 3 weeks to recover from sleeping in a weird position. Number 2. A blood type changing after an accident. A blood type changing after an accident. Medicine treats blood groups like sacred identity codes, yet one trauma patient's type shifted after a transplant, confusing doctors who double-checked for labeling errors. His immune system adopted the donor's markers like a forced software update, annoying, unexpected, and completely irreversible. And honestly, we all reinvent ourselves after traumatic events. New haircut, new diet, new life choices. This guy just did it biochemically. His bloodstream essentially said, "We're doing a rebrand," and committed fully. The twist is how permanent it became. Months later, tests still showed the donor's type dominating as if the body held a corporate takeover. It's one thing to change your personality after hardship. This man changed molecular allegiance. Apple wishes its ecosystem integration worked this smoothly. Number 1. An organ transplant carrying the donor's memories. An organ transplant carrying the donor's memories? Sounds like paranormal clickbait, yet enough recipients report new cravings, habits, dreams, and emotional responses that researchers can't dismiss it entirely. People wake up loving foods they once hated, picking up hobbies they never tried, or feeling inexplicable attachments to places they've never been. Neurologists argue that memory lives in the brain, not individual cells, but patterns keep stacking up like cosmic inside jokes. Maybe organs store emotional metadata, a faint imprint, not a full movie. And honestly, who hasn't absorbed weird quirks from people they love? The twist comes when families confirm uncanny traits, like recipients finishing phrases the donor used or developing their exact favorite routines. Nothing says gratitude like inheriting someone's playlist, cravings, and personality patch along with their organ.